Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, welcome back to Diego Knows. I of course am Diego, and today we're going to continue to talk about High Fidelity. That's right, High Fidelity. That wonderful, wonderful music that I love so much from the year 2000. Oh my god, this movie brings back so many memories, okay? I'm Diego, and what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view, which means that I'm going to talk to you the way a guy would talk to you about things that are going on, and I do not filter myself. I do not censor myself, so if you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out of here right now, okay? I'm gonna tell you the truth here, whether you like it or not, okay? I'm gonna give it to you straight up, baby, with no lube. No lube here, okay? The question is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. We'll see. Okay, so I have nothing to gain by lying to you. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth about these genres that we're covering here. Now, this particular section here is called Chick Flicks for Guys. Okay, now I'm not gonna do too many videos about this genre because there's really not that many movies made in this specific genre, Chick Flicks for Guys. So basically, what a chick flick for guy is basically got your typical chick flick, rom-com, whatever, romance, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, but instead of the woman being the main character, you got the guy's the main character, and the guy actually acts like a guy. Okay, it's not some fucking substitute for a woman, which is what they're due nowadays. Okay, whenever the guy's the main character of the romance, he acts like a fucking girl. Okay, no, this guy actually acts, men actually acting like men and dealing with romance, dealing with the relationships, with feelings getting hurt, with cheating, okay, with falling in love, with longing, with being rejected, all that kind of shit. Okay, loneliness. Okay, all that kind of stuff that's covered in your typical chick flick genre is covered here, but it's from a guy's point of view. So you actually get a peek into what men are thinking and mostly what men are feeling when they're going through these things, okay? And how they react to it and how they deal with it and how they cope with it, okay? That's the beauty about this movie, is that typically movies do not cover this from a man's point of view. It's always from the girl's point of view. Even when the man is the main character, it's still from the girl's point of view, okay? Not this time, and that's why I picked this subgenre, okay? So ladies, if you're watching this, you're gonna learn a lot about guys. You're gonna learn a lot about men, about what we think, how we feel about our relationships, how we feel about our partners, what we think we bring to the table, what we expect from you, how you can hurt us, how we hurt you, all that kind of stuff. It's all covered in this movie, okay? Which is one of the reasons I love the movie so much, okay? Another reason I love it so much is you got John Cusack. Now, John Cusack was the everyman back in the 80s and 90s, okay? He was a very successful actor during that time, not so much anymore. He's basically just some guy that fucking hates Donald Trump. Okay, and everybody that doesn't agree with him is a fucking Nazi. But back in the day, he was actually a very talented, very well-respected actor. Okay, he's from Chicago, like me, although I'm more Chicago than he is, because he was born in the suburbs. I was not. I was actually born in the city of Chicago. I still live in a big city. In fact, I live in a big city right now. I have a penthouse here in a big city. I can tell you what city it is, though. I know you're coming for me. You ain't gonna get me here. No way. Anyway, but I used to live in Chicago. Like I said, I was born there, and I lived there for a very long time. Okay. So this film, John Cusack is the star of this film. He's from Chicago. This film takes place in Chicago. Okay, in fact, it takes place in my neighborhood, which is another reason I love this movie so much. I love John Cusack back then, I did. Okay, and obviously I love my hometown in Chicago. In this movie, you get a lot of both. Okay, you get a lot of both. All right. And you deal with a lot of good music, okay? The character that John Cusack plays, his name is Rob Gordon. Now, in the original novel, High Fidelity by Nick Hornsby, I read that book too before I ever saw the movie. That novel takes place in London. So what John Cusack decided to do when he got the rights when he became a producer in this movie, he decided to make the story from the novel take place in Chicago, America, instead of in London, England, okay? Because he wanted to be more relatable to the American audience, okay? Which I'm sure Nick Hornsby sold the rights anyway. So he had no say in it. But basically, other than that, the movie is basically true to the novel, only the location is different. Instead of London, it's Chicago. That's pretty much the only difference, all right? A couple of song differences, but that's it. Not too many, okay? The book, since it was a British book, okay, they focused a lot on the music from the UK, okay? You know, like punk rock especially, okay? Some American music as well. Mostly is British music, okay? Not here. This is America. This story is taking place in America, so you're going to have a lot of American music in there, okay? A lot of one-hit wonders. They spent a lot of money on the soundtrack, okay? So you can hear a lot of one-hit wonders. A few like big-name artists like Elton John will be in there, so it's Bruce Springsteen. But for the most part, it's going to be a lot of one-hit wonders from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, okay? Mostly 70s and 80s, okay? Because that's the era of music that the main character, Rob Gordon, just absolutely loves. He's always talking about it, always. 60s, 70s, and 80s, okay? John Cusack's character, Rob Gordon, owns a record store in Chicago, in Wicker Park, my neighborhood. my neighborhood in Chicago. It's on the corner of Milwaukee and Owner. Okay, I also lived off of Milwaukee, although I lived on North Avenue in Damon, and then I also lived on Ashland and Division. Okay, so yes, I'm from that neighborhood. All right, I actually do know that corner where this movie takes place. It is not actually a record store in real life. It's actually a bar. It's a bar called Nick's Beer Garden, and I got shit-faced there. Me and my friends got shit-faced there many, many, many times. Okay, I don't drink anymore, but I was in my 20s. Yeah, I drank a lot. Okay, I did. Okay. And I smoked cigarettes. I did all the bad boy stuff. I did it all. Okay. And the actual record store is not called Championship Vinyl, which is called in this movie. Okay, it's actually called Reckless Records in real life, and it's just a few stores down. You don't see it in this movie, but the actual record store, the real one that exists in that neighborhood, is a few stores down. Okay. I guess like when this movie was filmed, they either paid off the owners of Nick's Beer Garden, or Nick's Beer Garden hadn't quite come out yet. They hadn't opened it as a bar yet. So it was an empty space that was available, and they decided to just build a fake record store in there or something like that. That's what I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure the actual record store was filmed in a studio, but the outside of the record store was the actual real Nick's Beer Garden. Okay, on the corner of Milwaukee and Owner. And yes, like I said, I've been there many, many times. All right, getting shit-faced. And it's still there. The bar's still there. Okay, anyway. So we left off last time. I do remember telling you I did not remember the name of the boy that plays Rob Gordon when he was a young man, when he was like 13, 14 years old. Well, I remember it now. His name is Drake Bell. Drake Bell was the actor, the 13, 14-year-old actor that plays John Cusack's character as a young boy, as a young man, okay? When he meets his first girlfriend, okay? A girl that he only kissed her, and then he caught her kissing another guy, and that pissed him off, all right? That was the first love of his life. Her name was Allison Ashmore, I believe. Was it? Yeah, Allison Ashmore. That's just some girl around his age that picked him out of the crowd, which is usually how it works. Okay, remember he's 13, he's got no game, he's not Mr. Popular, he's not none of that stuff. Okay, so she just picked him out of a group of 3 guys, and they started making out every day for 3 days in a row for 2 hours after school and right before the Rockford Files. Okay, and then on the 4th day when he went to meet her under the bleachers to make out with her some more, she caught him with another guy, one of his friends named Kevin Bannister, and he remembers it. Kevin, the dreaded Kevin Bannister. Okay, so now she's making out with him instead of, and now she's making out with Kevin Bannister instead of him. So he's pissed off, he's upset, he's rejected. He's heartbroken, even though he's like 14 years old, and he's gonna meet a lot more women in the future. You know, when you're a kid, when you're an immature kid, like I was back then, dude, that shit fucking hurts. That's your first feelings of attraction. That's your first feelings of loss, your first feelings of romance. You know, that's puberty's right, just hit you. You know, it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, okay? Well, Rob Gordon, he blew it up to be more than what it really was, okay? This was the defining moment of his love life. He's concerned as to why all of his relationships end in disaster. All the women end up leaving him or cheating on him or both. And he can't understand why. What is he doing wrong? He can't understand it. Why do all these women fuck him over all the time? You know, what is wrong? You know, because all of his relationships have ended like shit. So he comes up with a top 5 list of the absolute worst breakups that he's ever had, the ones that really hurt. And the reason he does this, he's breaking the fourth wall, he's talking to us, the viewer, is because his current girlfriend just dumped him and just moved out of the apartment, okay? So to show her that he's not concerned, he's like, well, you didn't make the top 5 of the worst heartbreaks. You didn't make that list, Sarah, Laura. You're not on the list, okay? So he names us to us, the audience. He breaks the fourth wall. He tells us the names of the top 5 girls that broke his heart, the ones that really, really hurt. And he emphasized it to make sure that you understand that Laura, the girl who just dumped him, is not on that list. She's not capable of humiliating him and hurting him as bad as those other girls did. Okay, so the first one was Allison Ashmore. That's the girl when he was 13 or 14, I think it's 13, okay, that broke his heart when he caught her kissing another guy on the 4th day that they were kissing after school under the bleachers. Okay, we've all been there. I told a story in the last video about this girl. It wasn't like this, but it was a girl that I had the hots for. I was 12 and she was 13 and she was in my history class and she had some big ass titties. Oh my God, like you're not supposed to develop that early. Damn it, ladies. You're not supposed to develop that early. Come on. Anyway. So of course, and now obviously, she never would have dated me. I was a comic book nerd with glasses, you know, and she was a popular girl with big, I mean, hey, she's a pretty girl with big tits, okay, in the 7th grade. Of course she was popular, all right? But I asked her out once to go to the dance. And she said yes, and she acted all enthusiastic. And me being a dumbass, believed her. But when I got to the dance, her and her girlfriends were just making fun of me the whole fucking time. So I had to leave there, all fucking butthurt and sad. Kind of like Rob Gordon is in this movie right now. He's just fucking laying back on that lazy boy, just depressed, smoking his cigarette, and recounting the stories of the women that broke his heart. And how the first one was Allison Ashmore. So yeah. He basically tells us that every relationship he's had since Allison Ashmore has been a scrambled version of that relationship, okay, where he ends up, with his feelings hurt, okay, lonely, depressed, sad, with his feeling hurts, okay, and he mentions in the beginning of the movie that he's miserable, okay, well, is he miserable because he listens to a lot of sad bastard music, or does he listen to a lot of sad bastard music because he's miserable, the chicken before the egg? That's basically his rationale. Okay. Okay, yeah, so he says that. Okay, so we've already met the first ex-girlfriend, all right? And she will kind of come back again later on in the movie, okay? The next scene that we have with Rob Gordon, with John Cusack, is when he's walking up the blue line, okay? He's waiting for the train. I don't know if he's going downtown or if he's going to the north side. I have no idea, okay? But I do know that station. That's the same train station that I waited for to work every fucking day or when I went to art school, okay? North Avenue and Damon. Those of you from Chicago know exactly what it is. That's the blue line, okay? It's elevated. It's up there, okay? So he's standing there, waiting for the train, but he's talking to the camera, he's talking to us the whole time. He gets on the train station, just waits there for the train. So this whole movie's like that. It's in the first person, okay? Just like the novel was in the first person. So he gets there, and he tells us, that on the blue line, he's waiting for the train on North Avenue and Damon, okay? And then he says, okay, now on to number 2 of my top 5 worst breakups of all time. Penny Hardwick. Okay, so now we're introduced to Penny Hardwick, okay? So the next thing we see is that it's Rob Gordon. He's sitting there with his friends, okay? Obviously, he's a punker, okay? Him and his buddies are probably Ramones. They look just like the fucking Ramones, okay? With their shaggy hair, short but not really short, the leather jackets, the t-shirts, the rolled up jeans, all that bullshit. They're smoking cigarettes on the grass in front of the high school, okay? Now, I don't know which high school this is. I don't recognize it. I'm guessing it's the one from Evanston, which is a suburb of Chicago, the real one that John Cusack went to, but I can't be for sure. But he's sitting there with his friends smoking cigarettes. Okay, it's I'm guessing it's the 80s now. Okay, yeah. So he sees this girl. Okay, yeah, Penny Hardwick. He sees her there. We hear Crocodile Rock. Okay, we hear Crocodile Rock from Elton John, okay? So yeah, they got a big name in here, okay? Now, I recently heard that song because like a month ago or 6 weeks ago, for those of you who have kids, you might have had to take your little ones to go see fucking Lyle Lyle Crocodile. My fucking son loved it so much I had to take him twice to go see it, okay? And that song appears at the end of the movie, fucking Crocodile Rock by Elton John. So of course, yeah, so now I'm hearing it again, all right? So we're hearing that, and Rob Gordon's sitting there, okay, with his friends. Now, right before that scene happens, he does talk to the camera, he talks to us, and he tells us something about Penny Hardwick, okay? He says that she was really good looking, she's great looking, okay? He says, and her favorite recording artists, her top 5, Penny Hardwick's top 5 recording artists are Carole King, James Taylor, Cat Stevens, Carly Simon, and Elton John. Okay, and then we hear Crocodile Rock. Okay, so he remembered her 5 songs, her top 5 favorite artists. Okay, what kind of fucking guy does that? Okay, I'll tell you who does. I do that shit. Okay, I can tell you my ex-girlfriend's favorite drink. Okay, Amaretto Stone Sour. Holy shit, was that a good drink or not? All right, anyway, moving right along. Okay, so he remembers her. He sees her there in the high school. Okay, she's there playing. Okay, talking to her girlfriend. He notices her. The next thing that we see is they're going out together. Now, I don't know how the romance started. We see him looking at her. Okay, she's wearing a skirt, a sweater, and then she's got her hair tied up in a ponytail. Okay, now I don't know how the romance started, but it did. Okay, next thing you know, they're making out. Okay, they're at some high school party, probably in someone's apartment or something. Okay, and there's a group of teenage couples there. They're all sitting on couches. It's very red lights in there. Okay, and these kids are all making out. Okay, now I don't know what the fuck kind of party this is. Okay, but we didn't have parties like that, okay? When I was in high school, when we went to a house party, okay, like not like Kid and Play, but more like a risky business, right? When we went to a house party like that, okay, we were always, there was always people around, okay? There was always music playing, drinks being served or whatever. People were smoking cigarettes, they were getting high, whatever the fuck. It wasn't just a room with like fucking 6 different couples just making out on couches, okay? But I guess that's what happens here, okay? And obviously the fashion, the clothes, the hairstyle, they're trying to make a John Cusack look a good 15 years younger than he actually is, okay? But anyway, they're making out and stuff on the couch, okay? And, blah, blah, okay, and she seems like a very upper class girl, pretty girl, think Marsha Brady with a ponytail, okay. Now he explains to us when they're making out, he's narrating the whole scene where he's making out with this girl, Penny, that he could only ever get to first base. That's all he could do was get to first base. That kissing that you're seeing him do, that's the furthest he ever got with her, okay? Now, they kissed a lot. They made out in her room. They made out at this party. They made out all over the place. But every time he tried to go a little bit further, go get to second base, she would reject him. She would move his hand. He's trying to grab her titties, okay? And every time he tries to do that, she grabs his hand and pulls it away, okay? But it doesn't stop him from trying, though. He keeps trying over and over and over again, right? But he doesn't stop. So he's trying to grab her tissue. So he decides one day, he's like, you know what? He decides to go for her crotch. The finger of love, all right? So he's kissing her. She's allowing that. He goes for the boobs. He goes for the titties. She does not allow that. So what does he do next? He goes for the crotch. He goes for the finger. He goes for the finger. Oh, come on. What guy hasn't done that, all right? And I'm talking to you girls out there. Come on. You know we're going to go there. We're going there. Come on. What'd you think was going to happen? We talk about Harry Potter? Come on. Anyway, sorry. So anyway, he goes for that. So what do you think? Okay. And he even makes the great analogy. He's like, you know what? That's like, asking for $1, getting rejected, and then going for asking for 50 grand. It's just not going to happen. So she gets really pissed off when he goes for her crotch, okay? Yeah. And in fact, she actually gets up off of her bed and fucking leaves him there by himself when he tries to do that. All right? So he's frustrated. And ladies, it's his fault. It's her fault too. I'm not blaming her or nothing, okay? But, if you continue to keep making out with a guy over and over again, if you don't tell him what the boundaries are beforehand, and I know it's redundant for me to say this because, we're all stupid when we're fucking 15, 16 years old, okay? But if you don't set the boundaries in the beginning, a guy's going to try to go as far as he can. He's going to push the envelope. He's going to go as far as he can. I know I did. If a girl was into what I was doing, I was going to go a little bit further to find out what her boundaries are. If she has any, okay, she might not have any, all right? But of course, you got to remember, ladies, from a guy's point of view, this is the guy's job. This is our job. It's our job, okay? We're the ones that we're trying to pursue you, okay? You picked us, okay? But now we got to pursue you. We got to show you that we're interested in you, and come on, we want to get something out of it too, okay? Is that selfish? No, it's not. You want something from us, we want something for you, okay? We shouldn't be ashamed of that, okay? But we do have to even as a kid, even as a teenager, you have to set boundaries. For the guys have to set them, the girls have to set them, okay? If you're not comfortable with what he's doing, you need to let him know that beforehand, because you can tell him while it's happening, say, no, stop, I ain't going that way, okay? You can do that too, and he has to do what you say, because the women can always control the sex. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. It's always been that way. That's the way nature decided it, okay? Women control the sex, not the guys, okay? If a woman says no, a guy cannot pursue, okay? That is 150% believe that, okay? That's just the way things are. It's not fair on us, of course not, but it's the truth, okay? It's the rules that human societies live by. Women control the sex, not the man. Women control the sex, all right? So if you're not comfortable with something, if he's going too far, let it know. I would recommend you let him know beforehand. Okay, but you're a teenager, so you don't give a shit what I'm going to say. You'll probably just let him know right there while he's trying to do it. Okay, so she never communicated her boundaries other than pushing his hand away. So he kept trying to go for more, and that's his fault. Okay, he should have known. Okay, I'm only going to get so far with this girl, and then I'm not going to get anywhere. So either we need to talk about it, or I need to start dating somebody else. Okay, that's basically how it would happen. But of course, I'm being redundant because we're talking about two teenagers. We're not talking about two adults. Okay. So anyway, so that's going on. He's pissed off. He's frustrated, sexually frustrated. We're talking blue balls, okay? I'm guessing he's probably a virgin at this time, okay? At being 15 years old, he's probably a virgin, okay? And this would have been his opportunity to lose it, Okay, here's this pretty girl, that likes him, and he likes her, and she lets him kiss her all the time. In fact, she likes it. She wants him to kiss her. Okay, but that's it. She won't let him go anywhere else. So that's frustrating. There's a sense of rejection. See, ladies, you got to understand this. Okay, when you say no to a guy who really likes you, you're rejecting him. I know you might not think of it that way. You're thinking about like yourself, your reputation, and what if people find out that you slept with this guy, or people are going to call you a slut, or at least back in my generation they were that. Not so much anymore. Now you're a fucking idiot if you don't sleep with a guy. But back in my day, there was that chance that, you were going to be labeled as something because you slept with a guy from school. All right. But you've got to set the boundaries, okay? But you got to remember, okay, for a guy, it's a rejection for a guy if he tries to and you say no. That's a rejection for him. So you need to understand that it hurts our feelings too. Okay, that doesn't mean you need to give in to us just because we're horny. No, but you gotta communicate it firsthand. That way he doesn't have to humiliate himself by getting rejected by you. Okay, because if a guy gets rejected in the middle of passion, he's probably gonna get mad, and if he gets mad, he's gonna fucking leave your ass. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's true. Okay, he's gonna leave your ass. Okay. I know for a lot of guys, and it gets worse as you get older, okay? Guys like girls, they say, hey, will you go out on a date with me? And the girl says yes, and next thing you know, he's taking her to the fucking movies 5 times, he's taking her to fucking Six Flags twice, okay? He's taking her to 2 fucking concerts, okay? And all this time, fucking, she is not fucking giving it up, okay? What the fuck? This guy's gonna be fucking pissed off. Like, what the fuck am I even doing? Okay? And then he finds out you're fucking this other guy the whole time. Fuck you, bitch. You just treated him like a walking ATM, okay? So to prevent him from feeling like a walking ATM, okay, instead of your boyfriend, let him know early. Let him fucking know early how far you're willing to go, okay? Or better yet, don't bullshit. Just tell him, hey, listen, I don't like you that way, but if you want to go to the concert, if you want to take me to the concert, I'll go because I like whoever the fuck's playing, but I just want to go as friends, okay? And if you don't want to take me now because I just told you that, I understand, okay? Don't be a shallow fucking bitch and fucking go with him knowing that you ain't gonna do nothing with him. Okay, do you really fucking think he wanted to take you to that concert just because you're his friend? No, okay, it's because he wants something, all right? Anyway, good advice there. And guys, you've been hit. Hey, we've all been burned that way before, okay? Wise up quick. Wise up quick, guys. You're not a fucking ATM, okay? You're not a free lunch guy or a free fucking dinner guy, okay? Anyway, I'd rather eat alone. All right, anyway. So he's frustrated. He's got the blue balls. She rejected him, whatever. Blah, blah. So, he feels that she didn't reject him, but she's just not willing to go as far as he wants to go. All right. So that's going on. Then the next thing we see is that they're walking home together back. He's walking her back to her house. And right there on the front porch, she goes to kiss him goodnight. Okay. And he just fucking, he backs away from her. And she doesn't understand why he rejected her for a change. Well, that's why he did it, ladies. He did it because he wanted her to feel what it's like for him. Every time she rejects him, every time she moves his hand away, every time she tells him no, every time she pushes him off of her, okay, it's a rejection for him. He's trying to please her. He's trying to make her feel good, and she rejects him, and that hurts his feelings. So now she tries to kiss him. He just backs away from her, like, don't kiss me, okay? He wants her to feel it. Now, he wants her to know what it's like. Okay, you might not like the titty touching, you might not like the fingering, okay, but you like the kissing, so I'm gonna deny you that for a change. You see, and now she's all butthurt. Because he won't kiss. He's just like, what's the point? It never goes anywhere. And I'm like I said, I'm being redundant because we're talking about 2 teenagers here, okay? But yes, okay, if a guy is not getting something from the girl, he's gonna start to think that she's looking at him as a walking ATM. Okay, here's a guy that can pay for my fucking meals, that can take me to the movies, that can take me to the carnivals, that can do all this shit with me, okay? And so I'll do it just so until I find a guy I really like, okay? You see what I mean? He's starting to think that way. He's starting to think that way, all right? And so he doesn't want to be used either. He doesn't want to be used either. So that's probably, and also, he's upset. He's upset that she rejected him, so now he wants her to feel it. He wants her to feel what it's like for him every time she pushes him away. All right. Now, I'm not saying he's right. He should not sexually assault her. Okay, of course not. Okay, but he should already be working within those parameters. He shouldn't just be seeing her. He should be seeing another girl. He should be dating girls until he finds one that will let him go all the way. Okay? Or that's actually worst case. The best case scenario, just talk to her about it. Just talk to her. Say, hey, listen, whenever you do this, it makes me feel like you're not attracted to me. It makes me feel like you're just faking all this shit. Okay? For whatever reason that is. Okay, so if you have a reason for that, tell me right now. I need to know because I don't see this relationship going anywhere. I don't see us getting closer. Like, all I see is myself being frustrated because I'm trying to please you and myself too, and you're rejecting me the whole time. Okay, now that's what an adult would say, but these are two teenagers, so of course that ain't gonna happen. All right, so he does that to her. She's actually all upset. She's on the verge of tears when he rejects her. Okay. You know, and she's upset and she's like, Rob, anyway. Well, yeah, well, how do you like it? How do you like it, Penny? Yeah, it doesn't feel good, does it? Doesn't feel good to get rejected by your partner, does it? Yeah, it doesn't, does it? All right, anyway. So, yes, we do stupid things for pride. Yeah, we do stupid things for pride. Men, we do stupid things for pride. Okay, so why did he do this? Well, I already told you. Okay, 3 reasons: immaturity, frustration, and revenge. That's why he did it. That's why he backed away from it. So ladies, now you know. Okay, he wanted you to feel what you've been doing to him. Okay, now the next thing we have is a science class. Okay, Rob's in science class. He got test tubes there. He's wearing the goggles and shit. And there's an alpha guy. There's an alpha Chad there. Okay, who's in class with him named Chris Thompson. Okay, now Chris Thompson is your typical guy who brags. Okay, we've all we've all been to school with guys like that. All they do is talk about how fucking hot shit they are. Okay, and this guy's like that. So he's basically bragging to the guys at the table that he fucked this girl. Okay, that he fucked Penny Hardwick. Okay, well, Rob is like, with his goggles on, and his fucking test tube in his hand, is like, I dated her. I was in love with her, and she never let me fuck her. Never. She wouldn't even let me touch her titties. And here's this asshole, this fucking braggart, alpha guy, alpha Chad, okay, is over here bragging about how he fucked her after like 3 dates. So once he hears that, okay, his beaker explodes. I guess he's not paying attention to his lab project anymore. And he's just like, okay, well, that's obviously a metaphor for what just happened. Okay, his heart just dropped. His heart just dropped. Okay. Yes, he broke up with her, so technically he has no right to feel upset. Okay, but what bothers him isn't that he broke up with her, okay, because she wouldn't give it up. What bothers him is that she wouldn't give it up to him, and that's why he broke it off, because he wanted it and she wouldn't give it to him. Okay, but with this asshole, she gave it up like that. Okay, which means that what he was afraid of when he was with her was true. Okay, she really wasn't that attracted to him. She was just using him until a better guy came along, and now he knows who the better guy is, and the better guy's a fucking asshole. And I'm not saying Rob wasn't an asshole. Now, if you'd asked me this 20 years ago when I saw the movie, I would have told you, no, Rob's a good guy. He should not have gotten fucked over. But now, as an older man, I realize, yeah, well, Rob was an asshole. Okay, he was a bit of an asshole, okay? He was, okay? Hey, I admit it. But this guy, this Chris Thompson, is a fucking hell of a lot worse. A hell of a lot worse, okay? Okay, we all know guys like this who are bragging about all the girls they fucked her, and I fucked her, and I fucked her, and I fucked her, which most of you girls are like, oh yeah, but he's a fucking liar, come on, okay? And which is all nice and true, and most of the time it is, okay, until it's not. Let me tell you something, okay? This has kind of happened to me before. I had a girl that I was with as an adult, not as a kid, that I was with. I thought I was in love with her because she was just fucking a 10. Okay, she just drop dead fucking gorgeous, all right? But she was psycho. And once I realized how psycho she was, I kicked her out of my house. Get out of here. I fucking even had to call the cops to get her fucking off my property, okay? That's how bad it got, okay? But after we split up, because she would live with me, I was a dumbass, I let her live with me, okay? After we split up, within 2 months of us splitting up, okay? She's fucking doing porn. She's doing porn. Yeah. And she's getting fucking filled out like an application. Oh my fucking God. Now here's a girl. Now did it hurt me? Well, it hurt me a little bit because there was a time, when I actually had legitimate feelings for her. I thought maybe, this was, going to be a good relationship. Okay? Wedding bells, all that kind of shit. At one time, I did think that. But as I got to know her slowly but surely, I started to realize this woman was fucking mentally ill, okay? And, she needed, fucking medication. She needed to see a psychiatrist. She needed something because she was just fucking way the fuck too bipolar, way the fuck too crazy, okay? Obviously, I didn't know that when I got into a relationship with her. I sure as fuck didn't know that when I had her move in with me. But once I realized that, I got rid of her. And then only to find out that she's fucking, a whore, a fucking whore, okay? There's no other way to say it. Okay, so yeah, that kind of hurt. It hurt because here was somebody, I introduced her to my fucking parents, for Christ's sake. I introduced her to my family. I met her family. I met her parents. You know? And then she's fucking on Pornhub now. What the fuck? You know? So anyway, yeah. So I kind of know what that's like. Although once I realized this girl was psycho, I was no longer in love with her. The infatuation went away like that. Okay? But just knowing that a lot of people, my friends, knew that I had dated this girl, legitimately dated her, you know, and now later on, 6 months later, these same guy friends of mine are over here showing me her fucking pornos, you know, where she's getting fucking double stuffed in the ass, you know, and I'm just like, oh God. And I introduced her to my fucking parents, you know, that kind of, yeah, it is kind of, so I kind of understand what he's going through, but it would have been a lot more devastating if I was a teenager like he is in this scene, okay? To find out the girl you liked so much, who wouldn't give it up to you, but yeah, she gave it up like that to this other asshole. This guy who is, although he's an asshole too, he's a lot worse than you are, okay? The fact that he's over here bragging about it means that he's a lot worse than you are, okay? Yet she fucked him and she didn't fuck you, okay? That fucking sucks. And unfortunately, guys, it's still that way. I'm sorry, nice guys finish last. There's a reason that is said. There is a reason that is said, okay? You're never gonna fucking get a girl by being having the moral high ground. You will never get a girl that way, okay? The guy that doesn't give a shit about her is the guy that's gonna get to fuck her, not the guy that'll fucking do anything for her. The guy that'll risk his life for her, that is not the guy that'll fucking get that girl, okay? If she's a high value girl, not at all. Sorry, but it's the fucking truth, okay? This is realistic, okay? A guy who fucking, you know, maybe now Rob is a bit of an asshole, but a guy that fucking legitimately cares about this girl is not gonna get the girl. With a guy that treats her like shit, okay, but she keeps running back to him, okay, that guy's gonna get the girl. I'm sorry, it's just the guy's gonna brag about fucking her to everybody, where it'll get back to her. That's the guy that's gonna get the girl. Sorry, ladies, but it's fucking true, okay? You make a lot of stupid ass choices, okay, and you lose the good guys when you do that. You don't care about it right now when you're young and pretty because you can pretty much have any guy you want, but when you get older, that shit comes back to haunt you, babe. It does. I've seen it happen. Okay, so yeah. So he's devastated, okay, so why do some nerds become alpha? Become alpha players. Why do some nerds do that? Well, I'll tell you why, okay? You know why, okay? What I just told you, okay? Think about it. Brad Pitt, Hugh Hefner, Elon Musk, okay? Johnny Depp even. These guys were all nerds when they were kids, when they were this age, when they were teenagers. They were nerds. They couldn't get laid. They couldn't get girls. Johnny Depp was too shy, insecure. He had a domineering mother. You know, Elon Musk was a fucking science nerd. Okay, Brad Pitt was a nerd. Look at his pictures in junior high with the glasses. He had the BC glasses, the birth control glasses, okay? Because you'll never get laid wearing them, okay? Yeah, these guys, Hugh Hefner even, okay? He was a nerd too, okay? If these guys became alpha males, okay? The reason they did it was because they had something to prove. They had something to prove. They know what it's like to be laughed at by women. So they had something to prove to everyone else and to themselves. To men, to women and themselves, that they can be the guy that is fucking desired by the women, okay? They can make themselves into that guy with their bare fucking hands, okay? That's why they do it, because they know what it's like to be fucked over. They know what it's like to fucking have a girl kiss you, tell you love her, and only to find out she's fucking another guy behind your back. They know what that's like, and that's why they become the desired ones, okay? It's a form of, you know, strength. It's a form of fighting against, you know, no one's gonna tell them who they are. They're gonna write their own fucking story. You see what I mean? You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that, okay? That's why guys do that, okay? You know, if you're gonna be a nerd, you're gonna be an asshole, better to be the asshole. They get cheated on a lot less, okay? There's actually a quote in the book, High Fidelity, where Nick Hornsby says, "You have no idea. For those of you who wanna be judgmental to men that play around and use women for sex, okay? You have no idea how far we have come. And all the shit that we had to go through to get there, to be that kind of guy that can just fuck any women, any hot women they want, okay? Think about that. All right, anyway, I'm gonna stop my review right here, and I'll be back shortly to continue my review of High Fidelity. I thank you for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.